यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य
ओम ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः सर्वोपप्लवरहित प्रज्ञान घन प्रत्यगर्थो ब्रह्माहमस्मि सोहमस्मि ब्रह्माहमस्मि। ओम प्रपन्न पारिजाताय तोत्र वेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। May the Almighty Shri Lord Venkateshwara bestow all kinds of prosperity, health, wealth and eternal happiness with Paripurna Lakshmi Katakshams to you and the entire your family and friends. Let us begin Bhagavad Gita, verse number 13 of 12th chapter. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Adveshta Sarva Bhutanam Maitrah Karuna Evacha Nirmamo Nirahankaraha Samadukha Sukha Kshami. Bhagavan Krishna completed first portion with the verse number 11. In that first portion, he has established Bhakti Yoga in 5 levels. We are completely aware about those 5 steps. First 2 steps are known as Karma Pradhana, Sakama Karma Bhakti Yoga, Nishkama Karma Pradhana Bhakti Yoga. The second 2 steps are Upasana Pradhanam. Ekarupa Bhakti Upasana Rupaha, then Aneka Rupa Upasana Bhakti. Then final one is called Jnana Yoga Siddhi. If a person follows completely, becomes succeed or success in this 5 level, what kind of benefit can be experienced by him? Not only that, so outcoming what there can be. That's what the question now. Therefore, Bhagavan gives the lakshana, the definition of a bhakta. From verse number 13 to verse number 19. If you look into these old definitions, you can find a similarity, the definition which has been given by Lord Krishna in the chapter 2. There Arjuna asked, Sthita prajnasya ka bhasha samadhisthasya keshava sthitadhih kim prabhashayata kimaseta vrajeta kim. Sthita prajnaha means a jnani, a person who has transformed as a wise person. What kind of mentality and what kind of vyavahara, transaction he would own? It was the question. Then Bhagavan began Prajahati yada kaman sarvan parthamanogatan atman evatmana tushtaha sthitah prajnastadochyate. He gave a very nice explanation. It was a spectacular explanation by Bhagavan Krishna. A person yada kaman manogatan sarvan kaman prajahati atman evatmana tushtaha. When a person becomes self-contented by giving up all the thoughts which are generated or raised in his mind, not giving priority to his emotional part, intellectual part, doesn't matter what kind of the thoughts are, he can keep them away from his perception. That was the answer. But the same kind of definitions can be also found here in these verses. First of all, a devotee won't have inferiority complex. The second, there is no also room for superiority complex. And one more thing, this inferiority and superiority is only because of when a person is not aware about himself completely. When you or anybody understands completely about their self, definitely their loneliness will be removed. I tell you, nowadays people are affected by this loneliness. And we must be aware to be alone is won't cause for loneliness. You can experience the loneliness being in a big family in which there are 50 people. Still, you can become a lonely person. Why this loneliness comes to an individual? Because human is a social animal. We should know how to interact with others. We are mingled with others. We are born in a family. If at all anyone who is not born in a family, he will be brought up in a society. That society also will take care of him. So finally, why human get that loneliness? Why? Because he is lacking of self-knowledge, the first reason. Then he lacks of the knowledge about the world. Nothing is alone in this world. No creature is alone. Everything is connected. Bhagavan gives bread and butter, everything to everybody. We should realize it. The lack of the acceptance or understanding about self and Bhagavan causes for loneliness. Because people are doing experiment with small targets and comparing with others. They fix big goals and they are competing with their own goals. If they are not able to succeed to their goal, they become defeated. According to them, they are defeated people. Therefore, what? They separate themselves from the family, from society. They will start enjoying the loneliness. It is a negative way of enjoying the individual self. I have seen many people are bathroom criers. We enjoy by crying. We enjoy by making ourselves in a place where people can have pity on us. No need. This becoming a person who feels loneliness, all of them are a wrong understanding about the system. But bhakti is a great medicine. It removes all this kind of nonsense. No inferiority complex, no superiority complex, no loneliness. Instead of that, he will become a person who supports for others. He is the person who is having complete mental health, physical health, social health, because he knows how to communicate with Ishvara. We should not forget whatever we learned from previous classes. If you want to communicate successfully with the others, then you should know how to communicate positively with yourself. The communication begins from ourselves. When we get up in the morning, there are so many thoughts. Why all those thoughts are immediately coming in front of us? You have to be yourself very careful. You should select the thoughts which I can just go along with that. Don't jump into the bundle of thoughts. Just select one by one. Every thought is converted into an action. Now Bhakta will select very carefully the thoughts and he will sophisticate that thought with Ishvara Sharanagati. Then he will bring into action as the puja to Lord Bhagavan. Do you understand what I say? Any thought which comes in our mind, we immediately bring into action. The children are very famous to bring in action very fast. They don't think at all. In between, no brake, no barrier, no speed brake at all. Now, after having certain growth in our life, when you become a man, means a complete man, maybe after 20 years old, you should learn how to sophisticate every thought with Ishvara Sharanagati. I call it sophisticate because mind is the place all kinds of thought may arise. Especially in these words, Adveshta Sarva Bhutanam is okay. Jnani will become neutral to all the people. He won't hate anybody. It looks very nice and it's very beautiful too. We expect that kind of person. We are ready to communicate with somebody who won't hate, and also we feel at home with him because he won't hate in future also. Very nice. And Maitraha, it's so nice. He is always friend to anybody. Karunaha evacha, compassionate also. Wow. So all these three definitions from this first line, it looks so positive, and people will crave to have a person who has got this kind of all the qualities. But in the second line, nirmamaha nirahankaraha samadukhaha sukhaha kshami. Nirmamaha, okay, he has learnt how to manage his mamakara and nirahankara, ahankara too. But finally, samadukhaha, what is the need to have these qualifications? Because devotee becomes a pure in heart, he won't have samadukha, sukha and dukkha. When he becomes the devotee, he should have only sukha. Why the dukkha is mentioned here? It means any human beings are born with 50% papa, 50% punya. We saw long back. Shubhair apnoti devatvam dukhair narakintanum ubhabhyam papa punyabhyam manushyam labhate vashah. This verse says, if you have 100% punya, you will be provided celestial body. If you have 100% papa, you will be provided a sharira which will be suitable for patala lokas, naraka lokas. If you have 50% punya and 50% papa, then you will be provided manushya sharira. According to that verse, shloka, now we are born with 50% papa and 50% punya. Punya will bring positive thoughts, papa will bring negative thoughts. After becoming a great devotee also, the mind will be bringing the thoughts according to the prarabdha. Prarabdha means the karma pala which has begun to fructify from the birth to death. But bhaktaha, who has withdrawn from his prarabdha, he can be a spectator for his own prarabdha. That is what the condition of bhakta is. But it doesn't mean he won't get difficulties. He will also find difficulties sometimes, because the incidents, accidents which takes place in his life according to his prarabdha which was earned before coming to the spiritual life. Those karma palas are continuing now, doesn't matter. Bhaktaha won't become affiliated, means affected by this. He will maintain that evenness in his mind. He can be a spectator, he can be a sakshi, and he can even contribute to Lord Ishvara. Bhakti means to give and take. That too, not immediately he transformed, one day night, suddenly something happened. He become, like Purana Jnani. From that point of time, from that second, he has become completely Adveshta Sarva Bhutanam, Maitraha, Karunaha. So it's not like that. So in those 5 levels which Bhagavan prescribed, when he observes Karma Yoga, Sakama Karma Yoga, what happens at that point of time? Physically, everything is connected with him when he is a Karma Yogi. Karma Yoga means what? The transaction between physical world and physical system backed by the psychological system. When you do Karma Yoga, when you offer everything to Lord, you are offering. I am offering means I am surrendering everything which I want, which I do, which I feel. You surrender everything. Then what? Whatever is provided to you, you just convert into prasada. Now you are surrendering and receiving. Receiving in the form of prasada and surrendering everything which are going to be very positive. What I mean to say, so you are surrendering your karma phala. You are not creating new karma phala. You are surrendering every day ego, and you are surrendering that mamakarat. This surrendering becomes the magics. And the attitude towards the object which and all, what and all is my own karma phala. For example, I have this body because of my karma phala. I have the people around me because of my karma phala. The experience which I get from my sharira. For example, the experience which I get through my body, through those people, through the object which I want, everything is because of what? My karma pala. But after learning karma yoga, I will convert those all event experiences, all the objects, I will consider as a prasada. Now I have taken from Ishvara in the form of prasada. Though it is my karma pala, I have colored. It's not coloring, but I'm using so that you can understand properly. I am coloring those objects. They are not my karma pala. They are prasada of Ishvara. I am offering every day. Whatever I do, I offer. Sarvam Krishna Arpanam Astu. Then I receive. At that time, what will happen? My mind and my physical and psychological system will become matured. Then what? I will get elevated to the next level, what is known as Nishkama Karma Yoga. I will free from my insecurity. When I free from my insecurity, then what? I can think about others. Adveshta. I won't hate anybody because I know everything is because of my karma phala. I am converting my karma phala into prasada. That's a magic. That's a bhakti yoga. Now the fruit is being described by Lord Krishna, but previously process was described. Now theory and practice are completed. Now the glory and benefit are explained here. We have to know how to connect. Okay, don't get confused. Only there are 5 levels. I'm keep on repeating so that you can get a clear picture about these 5 steps. The first 2 steps will help you to become adveshta, non-hater of anyone. Not only that, you become friend to you become friend to others. You become friend with the nature, and nature also will become friend to you. These friendly aspects from both sides. When you transform, everything will be transformed to you. When you become friend and you become also compassionate, the people who are not becoming aware about their reality, about their swarupa, you will understand, but you won't get anger. You will become compassionate. Your response towards them, if somebody is doing idiotic things with you, you won't get reaction. You will respond with the love and affection. Then that is known as compassion. Then that is known as compassion. Nirmamaha, because you are giving and taking, you are giving your ahankara and you are taking as a prasada. Then you are practicing nirmamaha, nirahankaraha. And also you will get chitta shuddhi. The benefit of Nishkama Karma Yoga is what? Sakama Karma Yoga will elevate you to become a Nishkama Karma Yogi. Then Nishkama Karma Yoga, the benefit of Nishkama Karma Yoga is to become a pure minder. As your mind becomes purer, you become very clear about the entire system. That's what here said. Samadukkaha sukhaha kshami. You will be endowed with the ever happiness, the love which is nothing but your swarupa. That love cannot be plucked. The happiness of that love cannot be plucked. That conditional happiness can be plucked. That love won't plucked. That love cannot be plucked by anything in this world. Therefore I said, for a bhakta there is no loneliness. For a devotee there is only love, bhakti. Love with sharanagati, without expectation. When you surrender even the expectation too. You need not to specify, I am not having expectation. I have the surrendering. The surrendering itself, it means you are surrendering all these your desires with expectations alone. Then kshami means what? Automatically you will be patient enough towards the world, towards your karma phala. You won't become thrilled, you won't become sad, you'll become shantaha. In Viveka Chodamani there is one word, Shanta Mahanto Nivasanti Santaha Vasantavalloka Hitancharantaha तीर्णा स्वयं विहिवं भवार्णमं जनान् अहेतुनाञ्जानपि तारयन्तः. The jnani people, they are in tranquility. Their mind is absorbed, filled with peace. Mahantaha, they are endowed with great karmas, jobs or attitude. Santa Mahanto Nivasanti Santaha, they still exist in this world, my dear. This is what from a guru to shishya, to give the confidence, to give the proper energy, which is nothing but the nourishment, vitamin to a spiritual seeker. Then the verse number 14, let us read it. Santushtas satatan yogi yatatma dhrudha nishchayah mayyarpita mano buddhihi yo madbhaktas same priyah. Santushtaha, completely satisfied, not endowed with, not depending on any other sources. Even he is not depending on his own body, mind and sense complex to get the satisfaction. He is completely free from all system. Atmanyevatmana tushtaha. This is the benefit by adapting Ekarupa Bhakti. When you select a deity as your friend or mother or father, even a lover or husband or enemy, thereafter the life only between you and your God. All other things will be kept away as a third person. You will see there is only one thing to communicate, is only my Ishtadevata. From morning to evening, you only deal with your Ishtadevata. So if you are Ishtadevata is Lord Krishna, Rama is coming, Rama is talking, I am dealing business with Rama, so I am having Rama. Even food also seen as a Rama. You yourself will transform, your eye will be taken as Rama. If you go the supreme bhakti, only Rama exists for Rama Bhaktas, Krishna exists for Krishna Bhakta, but they use one more word, Rama consciousness, Krishna consciousness. That's what the bhakti is. This is the benefit of second level upasana. Means first level is karma yoga. Out of karma yoga you get chitta shuddhi, tranquility of mind in vyavahara, but inner core of a psychological system will get complete satisfied when you follow upasana. When you become Ekarupa Upasaka, your opinion of the world, ideas of the world, ideology of the world, or the perspection towards the world have been brought on one deity. If you are a Rama's devotee, for you everything is Rama. Everything is brought in one place. The transaction becomes easier. You can find complete satisfaction. So dealing with only that deity. And it's very easy to. People are not accepting, I don't know why. But you should not misunderstand. Dealing with Rama doesn't mean that not response others. You respond everybody as you respond to Rama. Then you can see Rama alone is in the form of world. That's a great thing. It's a complete santushtaha. Satatam santushtaha. Yogi. That's what yogi means. The mind is focused completely. Yatatma dhrudha nishchayaha. For him, the ultimate goal is nothing but God. Nothing is available in this world. Mayyarpita mano buddhihi. Because his mind and buddhi means all notions which exist in his mind is surrendered to him, surrendered to me. That's what from Bhagavan's side. Sabhaktaha me priyaha. He is a lovable one for me. This is a style of Bhagavan. Sabhaktaha me priyaha. That has to be explained a little bit more. That we will continue from next session. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namo Namaha. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.